Live from WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
Breaking news this morning in Raleigh. 2 people are hurt after a shooting off New Hope Church Road. Police were there investigating until just about an hour ago.
Deputies are asking people in Wake County to stay alert this morning while a person is still on the run after a car chase. Coming up, what we know about this investigation.
And our temperatures this morning are in the 40s and 50s, but cooler air will be spilling in today. I'll show you how different it will feel this afternoon as compared to yesterday.
The field of 64 is ready to go, and it's time to start watching those brackets. UNC and NC State tip out their games later today as the first round of the NCAA basketball tournament gets started. Yes, after 12:15 or so, I think every boss manager knows you're just not going to get much productivity done from the people, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's March Madness time. Thanks so much for joining us. We're trying to get work done here at 6 o'clock. I'm Renee Chu.
I'm Jeff Ogan. Yeah. It should be a national holiday, right? I mean,
It should.
Yeah, well.
The whole tournament.
We'll petition for that while we watch some games later today. Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center right now. It'll be weather that you can stay inside for, and especially tomorrow when that rain rolls in.
And how are we supposed to stay up and watch a 9:40 game? NC State's at 9:40 tonight. What in the world? That's just not right. Talk about a really good nap, maybe. I don't know. Probably can't swing that this time. But we'll take a live look at Durham. We're all clear. It's quiet out there. Our wind is coming out of the northeast at 9 miles per hour right now. It's going to help to keep our afternoon temperatures on the cooler side. But right now, looking at 52, it feels fairly comfortable. It's 46 in Fayetteville, but 41 in Clinton. It's 40 in South Hill, 47 in Rocky Mount, 50 in Southern Pines. We have a wide range in our temperatures, but skies are clear everywhere. We have the top of the tower lit in blue for clear skies, and hour by hour, just mid-50s at lunchtime and mid-60s for highs this afternoon. But mid-60s are normal for this time of year. All week we've been talking about our chance for rain Friday and Saturday, and here's a look at our short-range high-resolution model. We're cloudy to start with, but dry for the morning commute. We are wet for the evening commute as that rain spreads from south to north across the area during the afternoon. That rain overnight Friday will be heavy at times, and there could be a few isolated storms possible when the low comes swinging by early Saturday morning. There will be some wraparound moisture, but a lot of it really starts to pull out of here by, say, mid-morning on Saturday, and then maybe just an isolated shower or a sprinkle into the early afternoon. So definitely looking at a second half of the day Friday with some wet conditions and early Saturday. Sunday looks dry, though, with some sunshine. It does look on the cool side. I'll show you coming up, Brian.
6:02 right now, taking a look at traffic around the Triangle. Just check with Raleigh 911. Still not getting any reports of any crashes or other problems around Wake County. All quiet through Garner, Apex, and Wake Forest. Those major approaches into Raleigh are looking clear this morning. Over in Durham, also quiet with no crashes showing up and all of our major routes looking pretty clear. No trouble on 885 right now in either direction between I-40 and the 147 split.
Breaking news in Raleigh. A man and a woman are in the hospital after being shot around 2:30 this morning. The shooting happened near a plaza on Craftsman Drive. This is off New Hope Church Road. Nick Perlin was at the scene in the WRAL Breaking News Tracker.
At around 2:30, a shooting happened behind me on Craftsman Drive. Officers tell me one man and one woman were shot and were taken to the hospital. They are expected to be okay, but I do want to show you this video from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker. You can see Raleigh police blocking off this area of Craftsman Drive. You can also see officers shining flashlights on the scene and laying evidence markers. One of those evidence markers, this black cap that was left behind at the scene. Officers were also checking out a black sedan that was left behind at the scene, shining flashlights through the window of the car. We know that this shooting happened about 400 feet from Club Love right down the street, but officers tell me they aren't sure if something happened at that club and if that caused this shooting. We're still trying to learn from police what exactly led to this shooting, and once we have that information, we'll be sure to update you. In Raleigh, Nick Perlin, WRAL News.
Also, new information this morning on breaking news we've been following since last night. A person is still on the run after a chase and crash on Tryon Road. The driver who led police on that chase is dead. Deputies were in the area of Tryon Road and Yates Mill Pond Road into the early morning hours. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey joins us live there this morning. And Kelsey, police say even though things have quieted, people should still be on alert there.
Jeff, deputies say that people should definitely still be on alert. They sent out a notification saying that there was an all clear around 2 o'clock this morning. The driver led police on a chase in this area. They blocked off this particular section of Tryon Road for several hours. If you live around here, then you probably received this notification on your phone around 10 o'clock last night. It warns people to stay inside. This is a look now at video from the WRAL breaking news tracker. It shows the white Mercedes involved in the chase. A deputy saw this car driving recklessly on East William Street near US 1 around 8:30 last night. When the deputy tried to stop the car, the driver kept going. Eventually, the driver ran off the road and crashed into a tree. The passenger jumped out and ran. The driver shot and killed themselves in the car. This morning, police are telling people to stay alert, to keep their doors locked. They say that they're patrolling this area. We'll be sure to keep you updated on the search for that passenger. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
More breaking news this morning. US 401 in southern Wake County reopened about 90 minutes ago after a crash that left a person hurt. This happened near Garner Road just before 3:30 this morning, and you can see the car overturned. Emergency crews had one lane of the highway closed as they worked to get the car towed away. There's no word on how badly that person was hurt.
And happening right now in the WRAL Live Center, breaking news in Washington. Lawmakers have unveiled a $1.2 trillion government funding package that they are hoping to pass. A shutdown deadline looms by the end of this week. It's not clear if lawmakers will be able to pass the legislation ahead of Friday's deadline, meaning there could be a short-term lapse in government funding over the weekend. And they say critical government operations need to be funded by the end of the day on Friday, including Homeland Security, labor, and education. Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle want to avoid a partial shutdown.
A brush fire that burned for hours off Burlington Mills Road in Wake Forest is now under control. The fire crews were able to knock it down late Wednesday, and they say these views from Sky 5 helped them to understand the scale of that fire. It burned near the Sharon Farms and Moss Creek neighborhoods. People who lived nearby told WRAL they were worried the winds would help carry that fire toward their homes. The Wake Forest Fire Department says no homes or businesses were damaged and were in danger, and the fire burned between 5 and 10 acres. Investigators are trying to figure out how it started.
New this morning, a 17-year-old is now charged with murder in connection with the shooting death of a Knightdale woman last November. Police made that announcement overnight. 40-year-old Shanaka Earth was shot and killed as she sat on the porch of her home on Twaintown Drive. This was on the night of November 8th, 2023. You're looking at video from the WRAL breaking news tracker as police continued their investigation early the next morning. Earth was the mother of 3 children. The teen who is charged is now in a detention facility. Police say they are trying to identify more people who may have been involved in Earth's death.
Today, family and friends of a woman shot and killed at a house party in Harnett County over the weekend will hold a balloon release in her honor. The ceremony will honor 19-year-old Ashante Monk. It will happen in Anger at 6 tonight. Investigators are still looking for the person who killed Monk and injured 3 other people. That shooting happened at a house party in Anger. As many as 100 people were there. WR's Gilbert Bays spoke with Monk's sister, who can't believe her best friend in life is gone.
All I can really tell anybody, like, if you never lost like a sibling or like a child, like, I don't think anybody wants to feel that pain. I'm telling you, nobody. It's not a good pain at all.
Sheriff Wayne Coates says they recovered shell casings from several different types of weapons, which means they are looking for more than one shooter in this case. If you have any information about this crime, call the Harnett County Sheriff's Office.
Today, UNC Chapel Hill leaders will talk about the search for their next chancellor. The Chancellor Search Committee will be holding a meeting this afternoon at 3. It's happening at the School of Government in the Knapp Sanders building. It comes after the former Chancellor Kevin Guskowitz left late last year, accepting a job as president of Michigan State University. Right now, Lee Roberts is serving as interim chancellor.
Tip it up for March Madness today. Both UNC and NC State are in action. UNC, the top seed in the West region, playing the 16th seed Wagner team at 2:45 this afternoon. That game is in Charlotte. NC State is looking to follow up its incredible ACC tournament run with a winning run in the NCAA tournament. Now, they are the 11th seed in the South region. They tip up with Texas Tech tonight. That game is at 9:40 in Pittsburgh. Duke is in Brooklyn, New York to play their first game tomorrow against Vermont. You can track all the games with live scoring updates, times, and TV information on the interactive bracket on WRAL.com. Just search bracket.
Still ahead, what started as a good deed ends with a woman being shot by a stranger. The crime that unfolded after she pulled over to help a stranded driver.
Also, more drama for the royal family after Princess Kate's private medical records may have been breached. We'll tell you about the person responsible and the investigation that continues this morning.
And today will be a little cooler than yesterday, but near normal in the mid-60s with lots of sunshine. Of course, all eyes are on the weekend. I've got the latest short-range model runs that show when we may begin to see the rain tapering off on Saturday.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
It is 6:12 on a fairly pleasant morning. Our temperatures are going to range anywhere from the mid-40s to around 50 as the kids are headed out to the bus stop. We had a dry front come through last night. That's going to keep our temperatures a little cooler today than they were yesterday. Yesterday, we're climbing up to near 70, looking at mid-60s this afternoon, but with lots of sunshine, and it won't be quite as windy as it was yesterday. It'll be a nice, bright day for us today, but that changes tomorrow. Tomorrow during the morning commute at the bus stop, everything will be nice and dry, but as people are coming home from work or the kids are coming home from school, it is going to be wet for tomorrow. We're going to see that chance of rain really ramping up, especially around 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And then that rain will be heavy on Friday night into early Saturday. Coming up, I'll walk you through the timeline on Futurecast. Brian?
613 Elizabeth, we are watching those roads this morning with our live sensors and cameras, not picking up any problems right now in the Triangle. Still quiet in Durham, Chapel Hill, and Hillsborough. And as we take a look at those major approaches into Raleigh, I-40 westbound through Garner, delay-free from 42 up to the Beltline split. And just a 1-minute delay showing up on southbound Capitol Boulevard as you head in from Wake Forest toward 540. Jeff?
A Good Samaritan in Cumberland County is recovering this morning after a woman shot her in the face. This all happened after a crash on Wednesday afternoon. People who saw that crash happen sent a photo to WRAL. This one right here, a woman who offered help to the driver ended up being shot by her. The crash happened along Matt Hare Road near Fayetteville just after 5 in the evening. The Cumberland County Sheriff's Office identified the driver as 41-year-old Vache Franklin. Now, deputies say she fired gunshots into the car of someone who had stopped to help her. One of those shots hit the woman in the cheek. A witness tells WRAL she asked Franklin to drop the gun, and she appeared to be in distress.
She'd stripped down butt naked, a pile of her clothes, and looked at one firefighter and told him to take your glasses off, look me in the eyes, I'm God.
Franklin's facing charges including attempted murder and assault with a deadly weapon.
New drama for Britain's royal family this morning. An investigation is underway into whether the Princess of Wales' medical records were breached during a recent stay at a London clinic. WRAL's Ken Smith joins us now with the status of this investigation. Ken.
You know, Renee, questions have been swirling for the last couple of days about this alleged data breach at what is considered a high-end exclusive clinic there in London. The headlines about this story are dominating the front pages of several UK media outlets. 3 staff members are reportedly under investigation and could face disciplinary action. NBC News is independently trying to confirm the allegations. A UK government privacy watchdog group, though, did confirm to NBC News it did receive a breach report but did not give specifics. Now, this clinic has long been a discreet option for the royal family until now.
Even if it's someone who was just feeling a little bit nosy, they should not have been able to access her record.
Well, King Charles has recently spent some time at that same London clinic. Within the last hour, PA Media out of UK is reporting King Charles's data was not accessed by any unauthorized member of that medical staff. Now, coming up on today, starting at 7, a closer look at that London clinic and whether the palace is breaking its silence about this story, Renee.
And Ken, as much as so many of us want to know what's really going on with Kate, that is not the way to go about it. Everyone deserves privacy with their medical records, and that includes the royals.
100% agree.
The field of 64 is just that now for the NCAA men's basketball tournament after the second night of the first 4 play-in games in Dayton, Ohio. In the late game, Colorado knocked off Boise State in a battle of 10 seeds. Buffaloes won 60-53. They'll play Florida in the first round Friday. The other first four game last night was an overtime thriller between two 16 seeds. Grambling State, its first ever appearance in the NCAA tournament, came back from a 14-point second half deficit and forced that overtime period against Montana State. And in overtime, Grambling State pulled away 88-81. So they'll play Purdue in the first round on Friday. Maybe you remember Purdue lost to a 16 seed last year.
Oh, we remember. Brackets busted when that happened. 6:17 now. Let's get over to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner with a look at how our morning and day is shaping up.
Yeah, nice and quiet. We take a live look at Goldsboro as well as Apex, Chapel Hill, courtesy of Top of the Hill Restaurant. And of course, our newsroom there in Fayetteville. Our skies are clear. Our temperatures are not terribly chilly. You're going to run into mid-40s or right around 50 degrees heading out the door. But it will stay on the cool side today. We had a cold front that moved through last night, and that cold front was dry, but it's definitely going to bring us some cooler temperatures this afternoon. Let's talk about Friday and Saturday, because that's going to be the most impactful weather that we'll see over the next few days. We'll see a dry start on Friday morning, but it will be cloudy. Temperatures are going to be chilly. It'll feel like upper 30s to around 40. In the afternoon, the rain arrives, and that rain will be steady to heavy by the evening commute, and that will continue on through the evening and overnight Friday night. So if you have Friday night dinner plans or plan to be out and about at all after 4 or 5 o'clock, it is likely to be coming down pretty steadily. Here's a look at what's happening right now. There's our cold front that came through last night. It reversed our wind to northwesterly. It's going to be cooler for this afternoon. Lunchtime around mid-50s, and we'll see highs in the mid-60s. And then we start to see some development down here along the Gulf Coast, and that starts to ride eastward. That high pressure system keeps us nice and dry today, but then it moves on out, and we begin to see that rain pushing in as we get into the mid-afternoon on Friday. There's 5 o'clock. At 5 o'clock, we should be wet all across the viewing area. That coastal low rides right on up and sticks around through 8 or 9 o'clock. But then everything begins to pull out, and the models are a little bit at odds. Our long-range models that are more low resolution want to keep some of that rain in during the afternoon on Saturday, but our short-range models are really hinting at that moving on out with maybe just a stray shower or two. So this is our short-range high-resolution model. Cloud cover for tomorrow morning, so it'll be a cloudy start, but not wet for the morning commute. Then that rain starts to push in from the south, spreading all across the viewing area by 5 o'clock. And then it's just kind of on and on during the overnight period with a chance of a scattered thunderstorm. There's 8 a.m. Saturday. By 10 or 11, it's really pulled out. But then there may be a little wraparound moisture that brings a sprinkle or a light shower during the afternoon. But it really looks like the bulk of the rain is going to be over by the middle of the morning. How much rain are we talking about? Probably 1 inch to 2 inches, depending on where you are. Things sort of eased up a little bit here in our eastern counties, but I'm not sure how much sense that makes. We're looking at a coastal low, so probably our eastern counties would have some of the heavier rainfall totals. Definitely Friday afternoon into the first part of Saturday, looking at wet conditions, and the temperatures will be in the low to mid-60s Friday and Saturday. Behind that system, we cool off a bit. We're going to see some morning lows Sunday and Monday, back into the upper 30s. It'll be a cool day Sunday with some sunshine, but near normal again for Monday and Tuesday. Brian?
Elizabeth, all new at 6:19, our first crash of the morning. This is a crash with injuries on Briar Creek Parkway, not too far from Glenwood Avenue. This is on the south side of that intersection. We are seeing some delays out there. Look out for police response and also EMS responding to that scene. Elsewhere around the Triangle, our major routes are looking good. A reminder as you head out later this morning and anytime 24/7, you can listen to WRAL News Plus on the radio with breaking news, weather, and traffic alerts. 99.3 FM in Raleigh, 96.5 FM in Durham. And if you have an HD radio, you can listen to it anywhere at 101.5 HD3.
Thanks, Brian. In Durham, board members and staff may have different goals for the district's upcoming budget. The Durham Association of Educators will rally ahead of tonight's board meeting. How they say the district's pay issues continue to affect the people who keep running those schools.
And final farewells to a small tree in Washington, D.C. The honors given to Stumpy before the National Park Service has to cut it down.
And here's a look at your winning NC Education lottery numbers.
This What's Trending report, sponsored by Rug & Home.
One small tree is getting a lot of attention on social media during this year's Cherry Blossom Festival in D.C.
Brian Schrader here now with What's Trending. Brian.
Yeah, people are flocking to get one last look at Stumpy, and some people are leaving tributes, including flowers, even a bottle of whiskey. The National Park Service is going to remove Stumpy and about 150 other trees in May as part of a project to restore the basin's seawalls. Stumpy's seen better days.
Yeah, Stumpy, you had a pretty good run. It's like 25 years old, but you don't have to endure any daily flooding anymore from the tidal basin. It's just time to go. But people love taking pictures next to Stumpy, an icon on social media.
Absolutely. Rooting for the underdog.
Yeah. It has a beauty about him.
Yeah, absolutely. The remake of Roadhouse comes out today on Prime Video, and in a new interview, Jake Gyllenhaal says that his character's tattoos honor the actor who first played the role, Patrick Swayze. Gyllenhaal says he applied the fake tattoos each day and thought about Swayze and his kindness.
Channeling his inner Swayze through tattoos, you know. There's a few fight scenes in this movie. If you saw the first one, you know.
Kind of a recurring theme.
Conor McGregor is in this, the UFC fighter. So he plays a role in some of those bar scenes and all. But Gyllenhaal's been through some rough and tumble movies before. So
yeah, and he definitely bulked up for the role.
He's pretty fit.
Yeah.
Pretty fit. Brian, thanks. Fans of the Stanley Tumbler, these things you see here, gearing up for the brand's latest collaboration with Target. 3 new collections will hit the store shelves on Sunday. If this is anything like past Stanley situations, boy, you can expect those long lines and the products to sell out fast.
It is not worth stampeding for. Be careful. 2 otter pups at the Minnesota Zoo are capturing a lot of attention. Nuka and Denali have each gained 20 pounds since they were rescued from Alaska, where they were orphaned. They are joining 3 other sea otters at the zoo, which is now their forever home.
Oh, they always look so happy, don't they? It's going to be a great day to be outside and play around if you get that opportunity. At school this morning, first bell, temperatures in the mid-40s. We're seeing sunshine all day. It'll be a little cooler this afternoon in the mid-60s. But tomorrow, you're going to need to tote around the umbrella. I'll show you what time the rain starts coming up.
And we continue to follow this breaking news this morning. 2 people are hurt after a shooting in Raleigh. What we are learning from police about what happened.
And new developments overnight about an urgent alert you may have gotten on your phone. What the Wake County Sheriff's Office is revealing about a chase that led to a crash and the warning for people who live in that area to lock their doors.